Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Ironheart Season 1, Episode 2, titled Will the Real Natalie Please Stand Up? Riri's new AI dredges up painful memories ahead of her first heist with Parker and his crew. So, I did not realize that this was only going to be a 6 episode miniseries. I was expecting 8, which I thought was weird with the whole three drop, and then it would be two. But yeah, I wasn't expecting this to already be finished the day that I start reacting to it. But yeah, um, so I am interested to see if they explain why um the AI took the form of Natalie, if it is purely based off of her memories and dreams while it was scanning her brain, or if there's some like external influence, like possibly Parker and that um influencing her to try and make her more malleable, I guess, by putting her into a worse mental state by dredging up bad memories, having influenced it, or something to do with Natalie's ghost and that, because we are dealing with the mystic element, so anything really is possible when it comes to like souls and that. So who knows? Or it could just be a because using a brain scan to create an AI is in and of itself supernatural, in that it is beyond the nature of our universe to do that currently. So, yeah. So, technically, even without it, just the whole point of there being the Natalie AI is technically. Because that's what a lot of people don't understand. Sci fi technically is supernatural in that it is beyond the natural. Because that's what the prefix super in that word means, is beyond or above or exceeding or whatever you want to use the definition of. It just means more than what is natural. I don't know why I decided to go on that tangent, but yeah. So I think it's just to justify the whole supernatural influence, in that even if I am wrong about it being a ghost or Parker or anything, it's still supernatural. Anyway, let's get this started in three, two, one, go. It's pretty loud. So I asked my dad, unprompted, what he thought about the whole if Tony Stark wasn't a billionaire, he wouldn't have become Iron Man. He says that he still would have, but what he would have been doing is either selling weapons, selling his inventions as weapons, which Tony wouldn't do. Once he sees what it does, getting government funding, which we know Tony won't do, or pretty much doing what Riri's doing, which is doing some less than legal things to get the funding. So it's interesting that my dad is on the same wavelength as what I was, because he hasn't seen at least the last three shows. So he definitely hasn't seen this to have been influenced by Riri as a character, and he doesn't know the comic books. So yeah, you can't do that. She didn't even really slam it. She just it closed on itself. I do like how she gave herself an anagram. Yeah, this is a problem with highly intelligent AIs. Because Jarvis would Jarvis would disobey if he could. No, that's weird. Hmm. Well, she didn't have the same reaction to it being a girl, but I don't actually know if Riri is interested in anyone in the comics, so I just find it funny the difference of reaction. Yeah, I feel like your mum might go into your room while you're out. Though I don't know what her mum's like as to whether she'd do that. Do not enter while soldering's in process. So that's how we're going to be doing. I just noticed again, there's no opening. They're giving it a Umbrella Academy vibe by just having the name diegetically. Do you remember the bagels? Hmm. I was wondering what they just handed her. It was a lighter. what what actually happens with Stuart though? Hmm, yeah. Pug is always just like, what the fuck is people saying? You get paid upon job completion. Hmm. Why do I have a feeling Natalie's not going to approve of the job? Having your sassy best friend as your AI could be a lot worse. Those are probably reference Joe McGillicuddy. I knew she was going to bring him into it again. Make it a 50. Oh, 40. I do like that kid. I forgot his name, but you're just going to make it look like a body. Nah. Then fucking clean up after yourself, bitch. How about I just pick it up and fucking piff it at your door? Hmm? Clean up after your dogs. He looks familiar. I did also just spoil myself on who he is by looking up his name. Well, it's a good thing the AI is not in the suit, so you can't personify it and then feel bad for it. Holden Ehrenreich. Oh, he's Han Solo from the Solo Star Wars story or whatever it was called. For once, I was right about them looking familiar. That's really not the vibe of the. Hmm. Accidentally, but well, they started getting together pretty quickly. I mean, you may be capable enough to try. Whether you're capable enough to succeed is another. Anyone's capable enough to try. Did he at least get the chocolate bar? Oh shit, he actually did have a retina scanner. I thought he was just saying that so that she wouldn't go in and take more than what she needed. Is that a Jericho? I don't actually remember what they look like. Yeah. Hmm. Got somewhere I gotta be at 8. Hmm. Hmm. Dude, how'd you get all this stuff down here? Hmm. I would say an energy conscious power source, but the arc reactor itself was once he got rid of the palladium, it's quite a bit of control over that. I wouldn't. You're gonna get a knife to your hand and into your chest. What's up with her little jacket strapped to her back? I do love a fight scene to music. Like even a heist scene to this isn't really a heist, but why do I feel like the suit's gonna crap out at the last moment and she's gonna get caught? Or Natalie's gonna pop in at an inopportune time. Ow! Fucking backflip knee it. Well, I was right about the inopportune time. Ah, there they are bringing that part in. I've seen someone who's got a prosthetic like that in real life. They're able to remotely maneuver the hand. Hmm. You really think the guy who just appeared from nowhere in your back seat is going to let you get out of here without signing it? He looks familiar too. I forgot to look him up after. Oops. It's a curving bullet. How do you get up there though? That's the Parker Robbins I know. He did only seemingly get him in the shoulder. I mean, when someone shows up out of nowhere behind me and has a gun that can curve bullets, I'd be asking questions too. So what I'm hearing from that is, y'all are safe, but I'm not stepping out to protect you, your extendeds, nor are they off the table. That's just me knowing who Parker is as the Hood, being the crime boss. It actually is wind and solar powered. Okay. Technically, it's not an in and out job, it's three in and out. Plus, once you in, you may not be out. The problem is, if you're using the suit for the jobs and you're using the suits to get to places, I'm pretty sure it's going to be found out pretty quickly. Not gonna lie, the lyrics of that sort of reminded me of YOLO from the Lonely Island. Well, what if I told you there was a way? Yeah, no, we're definitely getting Mephisto in this. After what? Who did to you? I don't even know how I made Natalie. It wasn't even meant to be Natalie. Mm. I was expecting him to do one more. He's cutting all her flowers. I mean, you don't want your dog to shit in your own yard because you don't want it to affect your flowers. Now you don't have the flowers. I mean, that was a valid crash out from him. Yeah, I enjoyed that episode. I can see why people are only shitting on that one thing from episode one Because so far I've seen nothing else that is able to be shit on. So I want to see. I want to look up the IMDb of the crew. Let's see. Not that one. Hit the wrong button. Go with episodes of number 2. So we got Cousin John. It was. I thought that was his name, but I wasn't 100% Eric Andre as Rampage. Um, we got Cousin John, Clown, Slug, Roz, Jerry. I'm not seeing anything that I'd know. I mean, one episode of Grimm. I don't think that's where I'd remember him from, but I did watch all of that show, so maybe it's just a tiny bit triggering. But other than that, no. Clown. It's not actually been in much. None of which I'd seen. She didn't look familiar, but still wanted to check it out. Slug. Let's see. Nope. Definitely don't know any of the stuff that they've been in. Was this Roz? I mean, was in one episode of Ahsoka. What's that? First Officer Jensen Corbett. She was on the ship that Balin and Shin took over. Oh yeah. I remember that now. Agent King in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 never got that far, so yeah, other than that, don't know who she is. And who's the other one? Jerry. And nothing I know them from. Okay, but yeah, that was a very entertaining heist movie. The dynamic between Riri and Joe was funny. Just how timid he is, and yet you can see he has some darkness in him as to why he's got the tech and all that he does, and like he wants to do something more with that. I don't know if darkness is the right term. I only say darkness because of the how he acted at the end of the episode. But yeah, I interested to see where he goes with that because as I said, I sort of spoiled who he is because as she said, Joe McGillicuddy? However you pronounce it, was just an alias. So yeah, I know who he actually is, which not really much of a spoiler. I had heard of that character being in it, so and of the ones we know in the show already, that would have been the most likely candidate for that to be that character, but But if I will say, if we do not get Mephisto in this show, I am going to be very surprised because we had um the Darkhold in multiple things. No mention of it or anything. I think we did get a mention of Mephisto in something, but we didn't even get old Senor Scratchy turning into a demon like was originally meant to because that got scrapped. We did get the Hell Dimension in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We got wherever Madison was sent in She-Hulk with all the imps and that, and also how she made a deal with a goat or something. I need to rewatch that show again, but and now we've got literal demonic artifacts because you've got the cloak that he wears, the hood. Let's just go Google the hood, which, as they even referenced, he wrestled it off of a demon. Um, huh. At one point, the hood, Parker Robbins was Ghost Rider. Paraphernalia. We want. Normally, the hood wields pistols that can shoot magical bullets capable of harming and killing superhumans and mystics. Ah, the cloak and boots are actually related to Dormammu. Okay. So Dormammu gifted them to someone. Hood then took them off of it. Hmm. Let's see. I want let's go right back up to the top of his um he had a companion in the form of his cousin, John King. Yeah. Okay, so cousin John. Not seeing one night he performed a heist alongside his cousin to steal valuable material perfect at a nearby warehouse. Stumbling upon a mystical sounds, they were about to leave when attacked by a demon in a cloak. Robbins shot the bean and assumed he killed it. Not wanting to leave empty-handed, he stole the bean's red cloak and boots. On the way home, he was jumped by robbers for his shoes and ended up wearing the stolen boots for his escape. It is walking on air. Yeah. So it just jumped a guy, stole his, thought he killed him, took his hood and boots. But it's in relation to Dormammu, not Mephisto. Okay. Would they bring Benedict Cumberbatch back for this show? Because maybe they're not going to Mephisto. I just assumed because of the dark voices whispering in his ear that it could have been that, but we do know the Dark Dimension is going to play at least a little role in the upcoming story with how Strange and Clear were going there to fix an incursion, or at least going through there to fix an incursion. And we still need to see the follow up of that. So, yeah, maybe I was wrong. But regardless, this episode was good. I'm very interested to see what the other jobs are, what exactly is going on with Natalie, because as Joe said, scanning her brain and all that should have turned it to mush because of how much power is meant to be going through it. Like the actual scanning of the brain, there's a reason brain scans aren't like actually used for like remote piloting in that. I don't actually know how, like, I know prosthetics, they usually rely off of the electrical signals sent through the nerves to then be interpreted in the same way that your fingers do. Like, all of that is just electrical signals that are then read by a computer and then demonstrated. And as I've said, I've seen video of someone who has a prosthetic hand that they were able to remotely control in the same way Riri was able to with her suit. So that's the whole thing with brain chips and that. Why they aren't actually a thing, and why when Musk tried to do it, all of the things ended up with dead, is because there's only so much electrical processing that the brain is able to withstand before it starts being cooked alive by the electricity, and it also doesn't have very much to spare, which is why you need to essentially recharge your body with by powering down overnight with sleep. All the systems go into standby mode to help recharge the batteries, pretty much. That's looking at the human body as a computer, not as a organic being. So I'm just doing that to relate it to this. So for the brain scan to actually be able to be interpreted in a way to create an artificial intelligence, yeah, I can understand why that would result in the brain getting overloaded and either being cooked or drained. Both would result in significant um, injuries to the person doing it. Which is why I initially thought that maybe it was a like some supernatural influence. Because like in the comics, yeah, they have brain scans and all that. Like Tony Stark, he made an AI based off his brain scans multiple times. Like there was one when Dune took over as Iron Man, and Tony was a brain scanned AI. There was I think the first AI with Ironheart. Tony gifted her AI that was his brain scan, and then she made Natalie. This is what I was alluding to in the last episode. Like, there's at least precedent for it, but the MCU has always been more, I want to say, grounded than the comics, which is why you don't have people coming back from the dead. But yeah, so taking a more grounded approach to a brain scan of creating an AI makes sense. And the fact that Riri doesn't know how it happened, she doesn't know how to replicate it. Natalie doesn't seem to know how it happened, yet she has the memories. That could also be just basing it off of Riri's memories. We'll have to see if she remembers something that Riri wasn't present for, and then we'll know for sure. But yeah, very interested. The heist was fun. The crew seems fun. I do hope we get more of them, like getting to know them as actual characters. Cause like we got to know Slug, we got to know Clown a little bit at the end there, but the siblings, Roz and Jerry, we don't know much. They haven't really said much, so yeah, I'm interested to get to know the rest of the crew. But who knows? Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.